Alright guys, here we are at deck building. So first things first is I'm going to cut down on the clutter of this build. I like to just kind of, even things that are fringe playable, I like to actually get out of the way early and then maybe build back up. And also these off-color things that I'm certainly not splashing them and get out of here. I also typically cut the banners to begin with just so this count is actually accurate and not confusing me. So let's get rid of all those banners. Seek power I generally just count as a power, essentially is. What else is marginal that can get going? Tower top patrol, we could use the flyer. I don't think we're splashing this Sword of Icaria for now. We'll see what our playables end up in. Do we need the Civic Peacekeeper? We'll see. Come back to it. Let's see our 2 drops. This Cobalt Acolyte might actually make the cut. Decay and Dispel are both fine and playable, but marginal at the end of the day. So right now we're at 30, just need some more cuts. Are we aggressive enough to play these district infantries? Another question on our minds. God, this 3-drop slot is a little crowded. I think we want to be a bit more. Let's see here. If we go defensive, then we're going to be on this Pillar of Elysia Silverwing Commander kind of plan. Yeah, we don't have a ton of reach, and we don't have a. I think we're kind of at a crossroads of, do we want to play like these district inventories and unlock potential, or do we want to focus more on the later game, just kind of beat down with efficient units like Ombre Healer, False Prince, Fire Chaplain lets us curve out, Crown Watch Cavalry, Karmic Guardian help with that plan. Don't need this Tower Top Patrol. Now that I look at it, just Cobalt Acolyte's essentially just a better Tower Top Patrol anyways. I think I want to lean towards the Unlock Potential plan just because it's so good with Bright Maze Paladin. So the question then becomes, what are our cuts? I'm still going to play Pillar of Elysia. The card's just great. Might be a thing where we just play like 17 power plus the Acolyte, but I probably want to still lean towards the 18 side. Do we want to play all these 2 drops? That's 6 of them. That's about where I like to be, especially in an unlocked potential deck. That seems fine. Our deck certainly lacks ways of pushing. We lack combat tricks. Maybe, of course, we didn't know when we picked the first Bright Maze Paladin over the second Finest Hour that we'd be getting another Bright Maze Paladin. I think this deck would almost certainly at this point prefer a second Finest Hour. At that point it was just kind of hard to tell. Ceremonial Mask was nice to pick up. Does almost like Fire's almost, if Fire was as easy to splash as Primal was, I would say I'd prefer having Piercing Shot and Sword. But the Primal Splash is just going to be much more consistent. We've got a banner plus 3 strangers, which I might not play. I might actually play this Daze because I'm that desperate for tricks. I don't know. That desperate, though. Well, we've got this Decay and Dispel as well. Decay is a surprisingly relevant trick. The fact that it's a fast spell can be very nice. But I think I'm going to work this. Just got done talking about how my 3 spot is so crowded and I'm trying to fit a Dispel in. It's just not going to happen. Oh, man. That actually does make me want to have this Civic Peacekeeper. I need some way to interact with my opponent's creatures that might actually be larger than me or causing me problems, like, say, unblockables or whatever. Cause really don't. I've got 1 Silence, a Scorpion Wasp. Yeah, Peacekeeper and Bailiff then will help a lot in that regard. So, in that in mind, I think we do want a bigger curve. Yeah, I'm going to cut these infantries. I think I'm still going to keep the unlock potential just because it's so good with the 2 Bright Maze Paladins. Question is there any other 3 drops we can trim? Not really. It's just very solid. Nice top end. Right now we're looking at 17 power. There's really 16 plus a Seek power plus Acolyte now, so we need 1 more cut. Looking at these, I mean, yeah, Spire Chaplain's not a reliable source of power. I think we still want to play it. Even if it just trades down and gets a sigil, that's certainly still worth playing. Might cut an Elysian Stranger. Going to keep all these four. Yeah, everything up here kept. So we've got to look. I think Acolyte's just super important here. We've got some fatties that like Crown Watch Paladin into Cobalt Acolyte's just insanely awesome. It's really good with False Prince because it's being targeted by a creature, not a spell. And it's nice with some other things too. It can always just be a 2/1 flyer for 3 as well, and then just get Crown Watched. So there's a lot of reasons to want this Cobalt Acolyte in this deck, and same with the rest of these threes. So really comes down to this, I think, Elysian Stranger, Spire Chaplain, and maybe I want to renege my offer to Keeper. But I really do think we need kind of that late game interaction to help us push through some damage in the end. And this Predator's Instincts, what's that doing here? It's not doing a whole lot. Like, it's going to take some work for it to do something great, but I still think we just need spells for interaction reasons. I think I'm just going to cut this Elysian Stranger, Combre Stranger slightly more. We've got some double Justice up here that I want to make sure we hit. And that leaves us with 5 2-drops, which is fine for a mid-range-ish deck. Like, 6 is probably more where I'd like to be, but there's nothing wrong with 5. So let's do that. And yeah, we got paid off for picking this banner over the other Combre Stranger for sure. As we ended up with plenty of playables. As you usually do in this draft format. So there we go. You've got a nice little Seek Power, a couple on-color banners, a bunch of uncolored strangers, and some pretty solid power level cards. Deck's not insane, but it certainly can get 7 wins. I wouldn't say this deck should expect 7 wins, but it can get there. I'm not going to play 3 Primal Sigils. Let's see, if we just play one that gives us 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6 Primal Sources for 2 Primal cards that require 1 Primal Source, I think we can get away with that. And then we just up the Justice and Time. That gives us 8 time here, plus whatever's there, same with 8 Justice. So essentially an even split. We need double time for... we need double time pretty early for False Prince and Karmic Guardian, but then we also need double Justice, and then we need triple times. Yeah, I think 8/8 split's where we want to be. Combre Banner actually gives us a 9th Justice. Do we want to swap that? No, because Time has the 2 extra strangers. Yep. We'll run it like this. That looks good. Alright, so I'll see you on the other side with some matches. And hope you enjoyed the show so far. We'll see where this goes. See you next time.